I've almost got a brick free with this spoon.
Hey, so Until Dawn has a prequel. You know, Supermassive's 2015 Choice Matters Butterfly Effect genre-defining cinematic horror game? Until Dawn, the one where you help Freddie Mercury jigsaw his friends up, and the little racist girl from Remember the Titans spends most of the game taking a bath. It got a remake in 2024 and a movie in 2025. The original game spawned a spin-off series in the Dark Pictures anthology, spiritual sequels in The Quarry and Frank Stone, and also that delisted cop game that I'll probably end up covering here at some point. But none of those games are directly in-universe the same way that The Inpatient is, a 2018 prequel to Until Dawn that very few people played thanks to being exclusive to an expensive hardware peripheral on one specific console platform. It's the PlayStation VR. Y'all know I have one of these. There's not a lot to cover on the platform, but I'm gonna keep going until we hit all the juicy stuff. I struggled with how to cover The Inpatient, because it's a choice matters game. Just laying out every diverging path you can take and what all the consequences might be. Well, I'd have a great time personally making that video, but it's not super fun to watch. But there's two main ways to play any supermassive game, right? Everyone lives and everyone dies. There's usually a trophy for finishing the game under either case, and if you're going to play it twice, that's how to make your run be the most different each of those runs. So we're going to play 2 runs of The Inpatient to cover the everyone lives and everyone dies paths, with the lives paths coming first because, well, dead men tell no tales. You do learn more of the story if people are alive to tell it. And then we'll do a faster second run as a clumsy character with a poor attitude who messes up all the QuickTime events and gets everybody killed, but we can pretend it's by accident. Because The Inpatient is in first-person perspective, let's establish the persona we're going to play as to try and keep everybody alive. I think it's especially fun to roleplay in Supermassive games, but The Inpatient doesn't provide a little character bio for ourselves the way that Until Dawn and the other games give you a dossier for each cast member. I've personally spent way too much time thinking about how I would play it off if I ever got involuntarily committed and was actually fine, but the staff was evil. If I got Shutter Islanded or Cure for Wellness or that other one with Ben Kingsley that I think might have been called Stonehurst Asylum. It's a small genre, but one that I love. My strat would be to go in, generally play nice and follow orders calmly, secretly spitting out or avoiding medicines when possible. I'd give little half-truths to their questions that disguise how sane that I think I am, and really quietly try to collect some paper clips or a sharp spoon or something to test the bars on the windows at night. So when The Inpatient begins and we find ourselves restrained in a chair, being questioned by Asylum Administrator Jefferson Bragg about whether our memory is coming back, I'm inclined to say, kinda?
Describe it to me.
Every conversation input in the game only has 2 options, and you can actually speak the line of the choice you want to make. The Inpatient has voice input, and it registers quite well. But I don't have a setup that could record VR footage and capture my voice good at the same time, so I just clicked my responses for this video. If you hear me speaking them, that was just ADR'd in. Now, Bragg doesn't care what we say, and he shocks our ass again. It seems we have amnesia, and the last thing we remember is hiding in a closet, getting caught by the orderlies. Orderlies' nuts got him. Hey, this hurts. I want this to stop.
I know this hasn't been easy, but I'd really like to try once more. Do you think you have it in you?
Gatorade?
You do understand I want what's best for you.
I'm not sure he does, but we're thankfully done for the day, so after being sedated with a huge thigh needle, Abe the Orderly wheels us back to our room. Abe the Orderly looks like if Buddy Holly had a child with the ventriloquist dummy from Goosebumps, and I'm not a fan. It's funny how knowing a game is a horror game, you go in already suspicious of everyone. The meta has ruined me.
Hi. Hello, Suzanne. Always good to see your face. Well, shoot. Guess I ain't fit to shine her shoes. You think a girl like that would ever give me the time of day?
She's out of your league, bud.
Look who's talking, big guy.
Abe is corny and dismissive, so even if he's not evil, I'm okay if Abe doesn't make it out of this game unscathed. We are in the Blackwood Pines Sanatorium in winter at the start of 1952, which, depending on how deep you are in Until Dawn lore, you may recognize as shortly after the time period when 30 miners got trapped in a cave-in on Blackwood Mountain, Alberta. The blasting crew was stuck without food for 23 days, but miraculously, 12 miners were rescued on January 5th in relatively good physical health considering. Today is February 2nd, just 4 weeks after those miners were rescued. As our consciousness browns in and out from the sedative, the game snaps us to an old-timey theater where a Dick Vane butterfly explains the concept of cause and effect, then we finally wake up in our patient cell, mostly lucid. As Abe tutorializes basic movement, let me tell you about the PlayStation VR hardware. It's a headset made for the PlayStation 4, compatible with PS5 if you get an adapter. And the tracking is all done through one TV top camera that scans for the lights on your headset and controllers. The controllers for it are these wands called Move controllers that are actually a PlayStation 3 peripheral that Sony was clever enough to repurpose for better or worse. They track your hand position okay, but the tech relies on being able to see these big glowing orbs at all times. So if you reach too far overhead or need to interact with something on the ground and reach down, or simply turn too far away from facing to the front, your orbs can go out of camera frame and the tracking spazzes. Also, these controllers don't have joysticks or a D-pad, so it was every game for itself on the PSVR trying to define a new movement scheme based on gestures or head tracking. For this one, I had to aim the wand left or right while clicking a button on it to get my character to turn in that direction. In addition, our character's body is 3D modeled and actually has collision. That's not common for VR. Most VR games will only render your hands and maybe a vest or a belt, both to save on resources and so movement feels better. But the Inpatient body, because of its big fat physical existence, got stuck on walls and chairs pretty often, so you'll see me spin around to disengage. That's all to say, movement is jank in this game, but forgive it a little because that's true to some extent in every PSVR game. I did my best to move normally and capture good footage, but the Inpatient did not make it easy. We can pick up most objects in the game, which is good fun in VR, but none of them do anything, so I had to invent my own fun. Here I am buying the plumber a summer home by throwing chess pieces down the sink drain one by one, until Nurse Victoria shouts for Abe's help once more, and we're left alone to ponder our thoughts.
Hey, did you find a piece of paper with my, notes scribbled on it?
We totally did. Our boy Abe has an unreciprocated thing for Nurse Suzanne, but I think Nurse Victoria has an unreciprocated thing for Abe. We don't love Abe here, but I'm not going to take that out on Victoria. Maybe we can set those two up. For now, take a little afternoon sedative siesta and... jump scare warning. This is our Lunesta dream, still foggy on our thigh medicine from Bragg. These dreams are the best part of the Inpatient because it's where the actual scary things can happen. We get jump scares and animal imagery, and sometimes the floor is the ceiling. Dreamworld is fun like that. Symbolically, our mind is weakened and our memory, our identity, is currently lost. All we know is that we're stuck in this psychiatric hospital, and sometimes the doctors attach a car battery to our ears. And our dreams are deep jade color. I dream of greenie, is that even a joke? Or just what dogs do when they want their dental treat. Faced with painful treatments and the fear of being alone, might we crack open the door to our mind and allow something sinister to take hold? So what if you can see the dark inside of me? Remember though, we're role-playing the sane guy that's just playing it cool until we get out of here. We've got to pretend this is a perfectly normal dream and maybe walk away from Dream Abe speaking Cree.
You do understand I want what's best for you.
Next morning, there's suddenly a strange man on the other bed, our new roommate. But first, we've got to keep up appearances of normalcy and eat the sandwich that Nurse Victoria just delivered. Looks like tomato on toast? No visible pills stuck in it like a totally normal spoonful of peanut butter you would feed a dog. Yum. Okay, let's meet our cellmate Gordon. Dr. Gordon Bennett.
What brings you to this fine establishment?
I have amnesia. Sorry to do spoilies, but I think we learned more from Gordon after we realize he's actually a doctor from Blackwood Pines gone undercover as our cellmate to scope out whether we're lying about our amnesia. He's here to carefully probe us and check if the treatments are working. But I think they're actually giving him shock treatments too. Gordon seems genuinely upset and pained about his inpatient experience. That, or he's really good at acting in addition to doctoring.
I don't know what they're doing to me, but it's just, I haven't been myself. I think it's...
This is our first hint that we're not the only one having colorful nightmares about woodland creatures. Gordon might also be experiencing Katy Perry Green Age dreams.
Did I make the role?
You're not a prisoner. Bragg's looking into your case personally. For now, I get comfortable.
Given his mission to be here, it's weird he's asking Victoria to be released so soon. Surely he needs more than a few hours to check if we're legit? Something has Gordon scared. Maybe something he knows about the dreams or the mining accident. Well, a little more time passes, we eat more tomato toast, and watch Abe strike out with Suzanne again out the window, then it's right back to bed to pass more time. Being a psych patient is kind of boring, huh? We wake up to Gordon bullying Victoria. It's a lot more understandable that a 50s doctor might speak to their nurse like this than a patient would, not to excuse his behavior. She comes back in a second with our lunch because we're still a good boy when an alarm starts blaring, an escaped patient. Gordon is not concerned though because he sees patients try escaping all the time and they're always easily subdued. Except this time sounds serious.
What in God's name was that?
Abe shuts off the lights early as a punishment or to calm everybody down, and it's time for another dream. Somebody help me through this nightmare. This time, Abe's not in the dream, but Gordon is. And it turns out we're supposed to not follow our new friend to stay the most sane. But who would know that without a guide? For all of the choices matter agenda that Supermassive professes, pursuing an outcome as simple as not murdering people can be pretty opaque. We wake up rather hungry.
It's been 2 days since they've come. Nothing. For 2 days.
Notice how Gordon says they'll be back for him. He is not supposed to be here. It's still not clear why Gordon is so quick to want out after taking the job of spying on us. There's no way he made a confident determination so fast about us. My best guess is that this assignment was punishment or blackmail from Bragg, likely over something related to the miners. Like, Gordon began to suspect foul play and Bragg threatened his job over it? Gordon clearly does not have his heart in this group project. With no meal delivered in 2 days, something is clearly wrong, and we're starting to get desperate for food. Anything.
You have no idea how hungry I am.
So by now we've learned a bit about Gordon, but what's our deal? Well, we get our first hint through a memory at the cell door.
Hey, get off of me! You? Why are you doing this to me?
This is Billy Bates, one of the miners rescued from that cave-in, and he recognizes us as multiple doctors wrangle him. Why are we doing this? Are we also a doctor who got locked up? We can follow that hunch. I tell Gordon I've had some memories return. I believe I'm a doctor here.
Well, ain't that something? Why would a doctor be locked in a cell?
His reaction makes a lot of sense given he's the doctor, but it doesn't sound like we are. So how did Billy know us? As we glimpse the past, Gordon is losing hope.
I can't believe this is happening. Whole goddamn week they just leave me in here.
Our roommate decides to Shawshank it and begin digging through the wall with a spoon.
I've almost got a brick free. With this spoon!
Unfortunately, our boy breaks his spoon soon, throws an understandable tantrum, and knocks us out into a third dream. Three-nage dream? Teenage thream? This one is grimmer than the others. Fresh corpses blink in and out of their natural colors, contrasting the deep green of the world. And that blinking lamp, a flashback to our treatments. Those treatments are meant to help us, but it's starting to feel just as likely they gave us these visions, since Gordon is alluding to having the same dreams. It's like something spiritual lives on Blackwood Mountain and makes itself known to those with a weakened mind. Our character is hungry, neglected, and hurting. This dream shows that we are considering violence. Toward Gordon, I guess. That's one way we could eat. We could always alive him. But I would never. In this third dream, we can either pursue a rabbit or a wolf. The one time it's obvious how to pick the good outcome. As a good Christian, I don't want to follow the meat-eating predator. Give me the let us pray. A gate slams shut behind us, heavily symbolic, as the rabbit also gets locked in a trap and begins to thrash.
So near.
It sounds like Gordon may be having a similar nightmare, and he's not fighting the urges as well as we are.
It's been a week, you know? You ever gone that long before?
There's a lot of hidden detail in Gordon's responses as he opens up about what he knows of the mining accident. He's realizing how 12 of those 30 miners escaped in good health. Or maybe better said, where the other 18 went. Faced with the limits of hunger, what else is a man to do? Suddenly, there's quite a commotion in the hallway. After Gordon gets knocked off the door, we learn nothing from his mistake and we go do the same thing. And we get knocked down too, passing out and waking up an hour later to Gordon offering us a delicious treat.
You're awake. It's time to eat. I saved one, just for you. Beggars can't be choosers. You haven't eaten in days. Doctor's orders.
Even as hungry as he is, Gordon is polite enough to make us refuse him twice before he snarfs down that cockroach and turns evil. Sorry, folks. That just lost Gordon. I think dream paths and following wolves or rabbit choices aside, it's refusing this cockroach that locked us into keeping our humanity and keeping us on track to have everybody live that we're able to. But the hard part is yet to come. It's basically from this point, halfway through the game, that we begin being responsible for everyone else living or dying. We've had practice being good, but now it's the big leagues. Though I think we can drop the guise of pretending our treatments are working. There doesn't seem to be any staff left who are gonna care. Gordon bids us to rest again, but before we reach the bed, another nightmare begins. Except, we're awake this time. The cell door springs open and Silent Hill-esque roaches swarm the walls as we begin to wander. In this half-dreaming state, we witness Gordon coming to terms with where they've gone.
God, where have they gone?
The staff? Or the miners? Spatially, we're only making a short loop around the ward, seeing and hearing creepy dream snippets of Gordon as he turns into a monster. But once we complete the loop and get back to our cell, it's not the same. It's upside down. Everything is upside down except this new small table with a dollhouse on it. A dollhouse which is a scale model of the cell we're currently standing in. But it's not just a model, it's literally our cell, because inside this one is another even tinier recursive model. Which means this figure standing in front of it, that's us. Y'all, this is my favorite virtual reality horror set piece ever. We can pick us up, make us go look in the mirror, pretend we're brushing our teeth. Too bad we didn't bring any cute outfits to change us into. But when we're done playing and we go to set us back down, another doll appears behind our doll. But if this model is our actual cell, then that means I do not want to turn around. Unfortunately, this game is not going anywhere until we do. Once we wake up, phase 2 of the game officially begins. The cell door is wide open, Gordon is long gone. Luckily, he didn't take a bite out of us before he left. And it actually looks like he came back and must have left us a flashlight. Gordon is still in control, for now. Our treatment is concluded, though our memory is still hazy. We can look for glowing objects to trigger memories as we advance and fill in plot details. But game-wise, our only objective is to escape Blackwood Mountain alive, and with the cell door bashed open, we're free to go attempt that. We can stop in the laundry room for a clearer version of that same memory from the very start of the game. And if we Edith Finch it and check our belly right now, we see a stethoscope and a doctor's coat. What? So we are a doctor, just one Gordon didn't realize is a doctor? Abe is dead, slumped over a stretcher. For all his faults, I do respect that Abe stayed doing his job once monsters started popping off around here. As we tiptoe around the dark hallways looking for an unblocked exit, unsure whether danger is still around, I'm reminded of a few statements Gordon made about Jefferson Bragg always handling things and knowing how to cover his ass. I don't think it's a big leap to conclude that Gordon and ourselves were committed as patients because we learned too much about what's going on here. About a certain high-profile mining disaster that happened on Blackwood Mountain recently, with consequences that could threaten Bragg's livelihood as the owner of the sanatorium and the mines if the truth got out. Anyway, here's some more Billy memories.
We were down there for weeks, starving. Now he's put us in these cages. You gotta help me, Doc!
So we were a doctor here. Why would Jefferson Bragg lock up the miners after their rescue? Another memory of me casually sweeping away an entire chessboard, this time using a clipboard for efficiency. Nurse Victoria walks in with shock and realizes something's wrong with us before calling for Abe. So we're a doctor who's not supposed to be here? A fake doctor? Or maybe one who was fired previously and snuck in? These next moments are the most fun gameplay-wise of the Inpatient. After a dialogue-heavy early game, wandering the dark halls, picking up memory fragments, unsure where the creatures are and if anyone's left alive, still confused and hungry, tension is high. We reach the elevator that thankfully still works, and we descend to the first floor. Take a moment to search out this open window to the black, cold night. No sounds but the wind is good news considering. There are more mangled corpses on this floor, with many cell doors bashed out or missing. I wish there was a little more content here. Some of these rooms could have had journal entries or uneaten dinners to help tell the story of the transformed men. The Inpatient needed some Bioshock DNA. Ahead, this door might be the way out. Oops. How's it hanging? Literally. What's she attached to? Victoria's out here defying gravity. We'll have to find another path. Picking up Billy Bates's patient file triggers another memory. It's Bragg personally treating Billy, who begs to eat while Bragg refuses him and continues to run tests. Another memory in this large patient dorm room. Billy, in a Hannibal mask, restrained well beyond what a single man should need. It seems like Bragg had a hunch the miners were dangerous, but Billy didn't respect how dangerous. After wandering for a little bit more, a sign reads security station. That should only be a few steps further.
Where you are. Who are you?
I think I'm a doctor?
All right. I don't know who you are, but at least you're not one of them.
Phew, another survivor. Thank goodness. This is David, our new friend, and he's right to be suspicious of us. This place is lost to monsters, so what's a patient doing wandering around? I play it straight with David, not disguising my knowledge that everyone, as far as I know, is dead, and it turns out this matters. If you try to soften the blow with indirect language, David thinks we're hiding something and won't stick his neck out for us later. What follows is a slow, thoughtful section of the game as David brings us to the other survivors and fills in some details. It feels very Half-Life 2 in a way, walking slowly and listening to an NPC chat in between stressful gameplay segments. David, who likely worked security at the Sanatorium, is quick with his keyring and careful to lock each gate behind us as we go through the wide open and very dark atrium. Now, it's quite likely this game's reliance on shadows is a hack for performance, but the thick darkness and short sight distance makes walking through an exposed area like this very scary, even if it's in perfect peace. Once we reach the relative comfort of this hallway, David pauses to interrogate us further before introducing us to the people that he's protecting. Eventually, he comes to his point.
Give it to me straight. You one of the miners from the cave-in?
Cave-in?
Some miners got trapped, okay? They were brought to the sanatorium to recover. But things... well, hard to say exactly. But something changed with the miners. They went wild, like they were possessed, like turned into literal monsters.
And thus, our story is coming together. 30 miners trapped, 12 miraculously survive. Brought here for treatment, locked up here once the staff noticed something is wrong. They were turning into monsters, that explains the restraints. And clearly they finished turning, killed most of the staff, and put this place on lockdown. That was half a day, maybe a day ago. As we walk through the Sanatorium's machine shop and several more hallways, I want to spend a little time admiring the graphical art in the Inpatient. This level is huge. Yes, the developers play some tricks with lighting to limit what needs rendering, and locked door checkpoints disguise loading, but there's a lot of carefully modeled objects in each area, not to mention David's and my photorealistic bodies. This was a big swing for virtual reality in 2018. Most early VR games went for a cartoony Robloxy style for their human characters, or they chose in the design stages that they would use simply modeled low poly count robots instead of human characters in order to scrape more performance out of low-powered headsets. Photorealism like this is still not common in virtual reality games, but committing to this style and making it work, all without lengthy load times, was a triumph for Supermassive's developers on the PlayStation VR hardware. Following David is mostly linear, but we can diverge from the path to find and watch a film reel that caught the first moment a miner transformed, breaking loose during a treatment and killing the nurse. That's scary footage on its own, but think of the implications. The fact that this film was recovered and brought down here to view means the administration knew the miners were going to escape and take lives. They had time to evacuate the patients and staff, but they kept us in the dark. That's why I'm not feeling too charitable once David finally brings us to Jefferson Bragg in his office.
Yes, and for that, no amount of remorse will ever be enough. But you must understand, no harm was intended. This incident blindsided us all.
We know that's not true.
Mr. Bragg.
The nurse Abe was crushing on made it out safe too, and Gordon made it. He looks alive. Even in the thick of the outbreak, Bragg is concerned with our treatment progress. That's a weird priority to have, right?
Can you tell me if any more memories have resurfaced? I admire your optimism, but it's misplaced in me. This is, it's just too big to keep quiet. I'm finished.
The other survivors are concerned with getting to safety, but Jefferson Bragg is only worried about his reputation. I'm finished? And he endangered David and Suzanne as well, bringing them as escorts to come burn incriminating documents in his office trash can before the police get here.
We can't leave you behind. It's not safe.
We have another choice to make here. No matter what, Bragg will refuse to go to the chapel with us. That's where the police are headed after all. But whether we show sympathy for Bragg affects whether Suzanne likes us enough to help us out later.
Gordon, be careful with your charge.
Bragg is acting like we're a danger, but Gordon knows what's going on here and blames Bragg for the whole outbreak. I'm with Gordy on this. Bragg can kick rocks. So I do the only thing I can do to ruin his day. Lose all of his chess pieces.
Just get out of here.
We get one more chance to convince Bragg to come, and he does say yes, in an obvious sarcastic lie. He's got 2 medical degrees on the wall, but otherwise the private office of the main bad guy is surprisingly light on lore. He must have burned the good stuff already. Forced to leave this little oasis of light now, we're with our new friends Suzanne and David, and our old friend Gordon walking slowly down more dark hallways toward the chapel. This won't translate well to a narrated video, but again, this section was very scary to play through. No sounds but our footsteps, very dark, with a short-range flashlight that doesn't reach much farther than Suzanne's caboose, and a bunch of hallways and openings to both sides. I feel exposed. I don't know where we are, and this feeling of traveling between islands of light in the darkness is not helped much by being in company. That said, we should leave them and veer off path to find one of the most important notes in the game, and it's not even highlighted like the memories are. This is a medical report on the rescued miners. At the time of this report, they'd been in the hospital for 5 days, exhibiting, all the bad stuff. Weird skin color, erratic and violent behavior, extra long limbs. Their arms and legs grew by an inch and they all got hyper strong. And despite being stuck in a mine for a few weeks, they amazingly didn't show signs of malnutrition. These people ate people, and that good quality human beef caused serious gains. And just a little bit of roid rage. Alright, catch up with the gang at the front door. It's totally safe in here, but that's not true outside, and there's only one way to reach the chapel. We've got to cross the dark courtyard outside. Gordon goes first. The chapel is just 70 yards ahead, but it's a very dark night between doorways. Watching Gordon disappear in the darkness ahead of us is unsettling. Gordon arrives okay. David's next, but they're getting closer. David makes it safe too. Now we have an important choice. We could guard the rear or go next, which is what I'm gonna do because we did just hear the monster cry. We can't put Suzanne through that. Let's just creep forward carefully.
Stop moving. Now. God, look! On the roof!
Oh yeah, this is that good Until Dawn QuickTime event gameplay. We have to keep our VR headset totally still or Gollum will attack. And I knew while filming how dumb this footage was going to look because I cannot stare at the monster without ruining it, so enjoy some found footage level quality side-eye glimpses of the creature. It passes. We make it to the chapel, Suzanne makes it too, and here we meet another survivor, Father Ted Mosley.
Father Ted Mosley, I warned Bragg something like this could happen. I warned him there was something here on the mountain. An evil spirit, powerful. But he wouldn't listen. They spoke of monsters that got inside of you. Monsters that fed on human flesh, insatiable, hungry, rapacious. They said the only way to elude the creatures was to remain perfectly still. But beyond that, there was no way to fend them off. They called them Wendigo.
There we have it. The monsters from Until Dawn, which you turn into if you do cannibalism. Wendigos. Father Ted luckily did prior mission work with the natives, and he kept this crew alive by passing on their knowledge of the Wendigo and how their T-Rex motion-based eyesight works. Though I guess they omitted the part about how fire kills them. Well, kind of. It kills their body, but their spirit still hangs around in the mountain, which sounds bad, except killing their body actually would help us out right now, so... Anyway, with those things going around outside, I don't know if running for the cable car makes sense. But for now, we're safe inside the chapel. The plan is for us to wait here until the police arrive, so everyone tries to get some rest on the pews. Obviously, we are creeping around the church for lore first, though. This memory is kind of placed in a dick location. It takes 5 minutes to walk to the back of the church, climb the stairs up to the choir loft, turn and follow the balcony all the way to the front above the chancel where a single candle memory reveals more of Bragg's damning past.
You're playing with fire, Brad. There's something bigger than the two of us at work in this place, and we've got to be careful.
Stuff and nonsense. What you're saying is ludicrous.
There you go. More evidence Bragg was warned of the dangers on this mountain, but dismissed them. And these are our memories. We were at some point up here snooping on Bragg, or maybe on the priest. It's another slow walk down back to the nave, and I check in with everyone.
I think I'd prefer to be alone. Not feeling myself. I need to rest. I'd advise you to do the same.
Maybe. Get some rest before the police arrive.
Listen, you should get some shut-eye before the cops show up.
Maybe we should get some rest until the cops show up. We can take our choice of pews to sit on. I'm worried about Gordon's ability to process what's happening, so I take the one closest to him. He can't handle the truth. We are a pew good men. We're only afforded a moment of rest before waking up to a ruckus, though. Wendigo cries, a screaming nurse, and the police are here, shooting into a crowd according to the subtitles. Must be another group of survivors who came outside to greet the police, but their noise drew attention from the monsters. We help Ted unblock the door and...
God forgive me.
No!
Yikes, they just shot a woman. So I maybe get shooting the nurse, if we allow that the police are fully men of letters, educated monster hunters who know she's going to turn because she got scratched by a Wendigo. But shooting at us? This reeks of a cover-up. The survivors run and we fade to black. Our character wakes up in a wheelchair. Apparently we hit our head and the gang helped us get down to the tunnels.
It was a misunderstanding. That's all it was. We just need to explain it to them. We should go back.
Hell no. Tell her, Father.
The police know we saw what they did. That makes us witnesses. We need to get out of here.
Based Father Ted telling us ACAB. Got it. At this point, the game designers remembered the Inpatient is a virtual reality title, so they gave us a little minigame to follow Suzanne's finger with our head as she checks that we're okay. It's like when a 3D movie remembers that it has to throw another axe at the screen in the final moments just because they still haven't justified the $2 upcharge for those 3D glasses with enough medium-specific effects. Well, we're fine, but Gordon, not so much.
Shut up! I'm trying to think. Do you really not hear all these voices?
Gordon, there are no voices.
You're lying to me. Of course there are. They won't stop!
You need to take it easy.
Get off of me!
No, Doc, what the hell's your problem?
Oh boy. All the plot is happening at once. I don't know how much time Gordon has or if there's a cure, but our friend is not doing well. Once we're free to advance, search a nearby locker for a camera with a very interesting memory attached.
You might want to leave this here. Don't want to blow your cover. Good luck. Where you're going, you're going to need all your money.
Leave our camera here? Blow our cover? So, there we have it. A journalist. That is our occupation. We weren't a doctor at Blackwood Pines after all. We were only posing as one. That explains the memories of Victoria catching us with the clipboard and Abe hunting us down in the laundry room after they noticed the suspicious new guy, and why Gordon chuckled when we told him we think we're a doctor. This Victor guy snuck us in. We just failed our stealth checks and got held here as punishment. We have to read between the lines to conclude that shock treatments were either meant as torture for punishment or as an attempt to wipe, not fix, our memory. It's why Gordon might be sent to spy on our progress. The good guys, TM, are heading toward the Blackwood Pines Hotel now via the tunnels. Blackwood Pines is the hotel that was eventually raised and rebuilt as the lodge where the action of Until Dawn takes place in 2015. We have one more dark, creepy walking sequence, again showing this game at its best as it scares us with absolutely nothing. The Victor we saw in our memory is the head custodian of the Blackwood Pines Hotel, and totally coincidental to us having flashbacks of him, our friends are filling the silence with their favorite Victor facts and anecdotes. You may recognize the name Victor Milgram. That's the name of the fake bad guy that Josh invents to scare his friends in Until Dawn, but the name is real. Perhaps Josh got the name after looking up old hotel records. His family does own the place. Or else Victor's name here might just be an Easter egg. The timelines don't match up between this Victor and the psychopath in Josh's story though, so Inpatient Victor is definitely not actually the Victor mentioned in Until Dawn.
Looks to me like Victor's been here recently.
I'm actually not sure why he says that. Did he check the temperature of the coffee on his desk? A newspaper in Victor's office describes another journalist, Chuck Bernstein, who came to report on the rescued miners. Blackwood staff confiscated his camera, then beat his ass when he protested. It's quite possible we wrote this article about Chuck, or we were another of Chuck's coworkers at this paper. It would explain the level of risk we took to get inside the sanatorium. Also, Brinkley's Rasta cultivator is now for sale, guaranteed to give satisfaction.
You hear that? What was it?
I don't know.
Creepy noises come from ahead. But this time it's banging, not the monster screech we've been fearing. Could be raccoons, or...
Ted, I'm sorry I pushed you. I don't know what came over me.
Aw, Gordon made it. By the way, everyone's volume is based on how far you are from them. I've been working overtime in editing, cutting up all the audio and trying to normalize it for the whole video, but it's a mess out here. This game would not have been playable without subtitles. Before joining the crew in the elevator, check out the far corner of the kitchen for a bottle of Old Randall.
That's everything. Well now, Doctor. I can only hope you have better luck than the last guy.
And one more memory in the laundry room completes the Victor picture. It's Victor outfitting us with a doctor's coat. So, he did more than just advise us. Victor actively helped us infiltrate Blackwood Sanatorium. Well, under Father Ted's guidance, we've made it to the hotel elevator. We're almost out of here. The cable car is just up on floor 2. But of course, things aren't so easy. These next few minutes are make or break for anyone trying to go for no deaths or for all deaths runs. Cause the police have made it here too, still trying to gun us down. They notice just as we all pile into the elevator car. Taking too long to hit a button can go poorly. But I hit the button in time and we head up to the second floor. Gordon is, not looking good. On floor 2, the elevator door won't open for us because the panel caught a police bullet. So after struggling with it for a minute, the elevator begins traveling back down. The police must have called it back. The lobby has been filled with gas, which hurts visibility. Police officers in masks amble up to the elevator, ready to execute us to cover up for Jefferson Bragg. Our friends are stuck in a coughing fit, helpless. But before the police can raise their guns... I love a good T-Rex distracting the Velociraptors moment. Enemy of our enemy kind of thing. Okay, I want the house tour. I can take you to the first floor.
Victor, it's the police. We need the cable car.
No, wow, Victor, you survived. Good to see you. Unfortunately, all of these elevator cutscenes look terrible because Father Ted has no concept of personal space, and his physical body has collision with ours, including our flashlight arm. So Ted's fat butt keeps jostling and pushing our flashlight beam around, and I can't get good footage. The player can't even reposition here. The game is just hard-coded for Father Ted to violate our airspace. Anyway, Victor manages to pry the elevator door open. My favorite thing about this is how they use efforts as a verb in the subtitles. Victor gets in and we ship back to floor 2 just as a Wendigo comes from behind, hungry for janitor. Back on floor 2 and now able to exit the elevator, we should be home free. The cable car is here, and there isn't even some horror game trope fuse or generator that we have to fix first. But there is a Gordon-sized problem.
I'm sorry. I cannot allow you to leave this mountain.
No. I suppose not, huh? Never should have listened to Bragg. We knew we were kicking the hornet's nest. Go. I'll operate the cable car. You should get as far away from me as you can.
That's actually remarkably refreshing. Gordon can handle the truth, knows that he has the curse, and agrees to operate the car for us, leaving himself to die or condemning himself to turn on the mountain. Someone needs to operate the car for the others, and Gordon doesn't even hesitate. He really is a good guy. This is a shame. From the start, there was no way that both us and Gordon make it off the mountain. But it's also not guaranteed that either of us make it. If we don't leave immediately, because there are some collectibles on the lower floors we can go back for now, well, let's see what happens when we return to floor 2. Okay, we don't want that though, so let's rewind time and not do that. If we file directly into the cable car, everyone sits on the same side, which realistically would make this thing lean, which would be scarier than anything about Wendigos. And Gordon responsibly hits the button to send us all down the mountain towards safety. I'm only a little sad that dawn isn't breaking as we escape. How cool would that be? Everyone is too tired or incredulous to speak. Monsters are real, their friends are dead, and everyone needs a new job except us. After a quiet ride, a minute or two later, we approach the lower station and the waiting police. Uh-oh.
Look at me. I'm a reasonable man. So let's get down to business. You say you saw all sorts of bad stuff up on Blackwood Mountain. But I say you broke into a reputable institution under false pretenses. Who do you think people are going to believe?
Yikes. I was all for acting meek and playing ball to escape the mental institution, but I ain't saying shit without my lawyer.
Silence. A good strategy.
Wait, saying nothing was a choice this whole time?
The silent act only goes so far. I need you to tell me what you're going to do.
Hold on, let's run it back. Lawyer or I walk.
Seems like there's no getting through to you, is there? Just won't listen to reason. Yeah. I think we better put you in a place where you and your wild stories won't be a danger to anyone else. Ever again.
Ah, the classic we made it out but didn't trope. The police have been bought and paid by Jefferson Bragg, and no dark reality stands up to the cash now in this man's wallet. I know you can barely see this footage, it's just another padded cell, no better than where we started the game. And the dreams, they haven't stopped. So, that's the Inpatient. The human half of the story anyway. Turns out we were playing as unnamed journalist who came to Blackwood Pines Sanatorium to cover the mining disaster and subsequent rescue on the tail of our colleague who tried that and was assaulted for it. Victor Milgram snuck us in, and we are able to do a little snooping, witnessing the monsterification of miner Billy Bates before the staff notice us and Bragg has us forcibly institutionalized, kidnapped. Those treatments Bragg had us doing were not to cure amnesia, he was trying to erase our memories of what we saw here. Dr. Gordon Bennett was the one doctor who saw the writing on the wall and spoke out, which landed him a punitive assignment spying on us to check if our amnesia is faked. Then the miners turn Wendigo and bust out, killing much of the staff, but busting our cell open too, and the rest of the game is just meeting a few more survivors and getting them safely off the mountain. Jefferson Bragg knew of the Wendigo curse the whole time, per Father Ted, but chose to endanger his staff anyway by taking in the miners. We have to assume his motivations are purely financial. As owner of both the Sanatorium and the Radium mines, a high-profile news story about the mining accident, much less any word of cannibalism, could get him shut down. That's why he hired the police to silence us, and for the second time we got disappeared for daring to do journalism. That's just the don't kill anyone path though. What happens if we give in to the hunger? Well, it doesn't change the story fundamentals, but I did want to include a homicide run in the video because that's how the Inpatient ties more directly into Until Dawn. To the extent this video is meant to be for people who have played Until Dawn, I need to hop in one more time and see if we can get everyone killed to tie the games together in a cool way. Let's change how we're role-playing though. This time we're angry. We don't care about playing coy and befriending the staff. We're mean, we're pissy, and we're hungry. And while we're role-playing, I also went in as an Asian chick this time. Gender doesn't matter much, but there's a bit of gendered dialogue. It lets us be savage when Suzanne stonewalls Abe in the hallway.
Are all girls like that, or is it just me?
Only the smart ones.
Are you... That's just rich, you know?
And it also changes the gender of our roommate. Gordon Bennett is now Anna Bennett, still a doctor, but she's got much worse voice acting.
Hey, well, if we're going to be stuck in here together, we might as well get to know each other. What brings you to this lovely getaway?
I'm sorry, woman is just sight reading these lines off the sheet.
Not the trusting kind, hey? Well, that's fine. But you needn't worry about me. Memory like a sieve.
As a silver lining to Anna's bad voice acting, the awkward way she probes to see if we're faking our amnesia is actually more in character.
So, tell me, you want out of here. Screw this voluntary BS, right?
But that's enough of Anna. Let's start making decisions that will get us all killed.
Are you trying to get us killed?
After the spoon-based knockout punch, we play that third green dream through a different lens this time. As we creep the dream halls, the corpses are not a threat. Now they're an invitation.
The treatment is working.
This time we're making the Duran Duran choice because we are hungry like the wolf. At the end of the hall, growls come from behind a closed door. Man, those JPEGs of orange eyeballs were really hungry. Once we're awake, I'm pessimistic when I tell Anna that I don't think we can survive much longer. This doesn't shape the outcomes, I just want it to be a bummer. What does matter is eating the cockroach. This time, we say yes.
There's one left, just for you. Doctor's orders.
It's not like eating a bug should trigger the Wendigo curse. As far as we know, it's eating human flesh that does. But it's symbolic that we're allowing our hunger to rule us. So when we have the same waking dream as last time, that I'm not sure is a dream, it's a little abstract, but I believe we're actually killing Anna here. Or maybe wounding her and causing her to flee, but we don't see our roommate again after this. This green color seems to be associated with the Wendigo's influence. Deep green is not a common bad guy or evil thing color in media, so if we want to pick at the symbolism, the green could represent nature and wilderness, on theme with all the animal imagery that we see throughout the game. It almost feels like the Inpatient is treating Wendigo more as part of the ecosystem than something inherently evil. Anyway, skipping to where we meet David in security, we need him not to trust us, so this time I'm cagey with my responses. David's easy to get killed either way, but Suzanne needs to like us more than David does in order to get her killed.
I think maybe you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Bragg's reaction when we show up in his office is very different if we've consumed our roommate.
David, why the hell would you bring him here? I know what you've done. You're a monster. You sicken me.
You sicken me. Feed your patience. It is important that we ask Bragg to come with us again for Suzanne points, because once we reach the asylum entrance and the crossing to the chapel...
Okay, I'll follow.
Oh no, the Wendigo is here. Better not move. Oops, I've broken out into spontaneous dance. I knew my ergotism would haunt me.
No! Suzanne, stop!
When we beef the QuickTime event, Suzanne heroically runs to save us and takes our place as Wendigo food. Girl dinner. That's 2 of the 5 deaths that we need to cause. So this time the chapel crew is just us, David, and Ted. Much more somber than last time. Poor David, his sweetheart Suzanne got taken down in a place near the river. The police still try to shoot us, but as we come to, our reaction is very different. Wendigo-eater.
Why would they do that? Open fire. Kill them all.
These are the voices that Gordon was hearing at this point in our human playthrough. Walking with David and Father Ted toward the hotel basement, we white out again and wake up to Father Ted invading our personal space, as he likes to do.
I'm afraid we're running out of time. David, keep your wits about you.
David does not keep his wits about him. The dancing plague strikes me again once we reach the elevator, and I don't manage to hit the button in time. David suffers a gunshot wound to the belly. It's not quite lethal yet, and David keeps his sense of humor while he bleeds out.
Looks like it got hit by one of the bullets.
I know just how that panel feels.
Victor still helps pry the door open on the first floor, but wouldn't you know it, dancing plague again. My inability to hit the elevator button in time means that to the soil goes the Victor. That makes it a quiet ride back to the second floor, Father Ted giving us bombastic side-eye, and David finally passes from blood loss after we exit the elevator.
Oh, David.
It's down to just us and Ted, and Father Ted is done beating around the bush.
This didn't have to happen. You know it didn't.
That attitude is not helping him look any less like dinner. Listen. We were locked in a cell without food for longer than a The Ring curse. What did he want us to do?
What is it?
Stay back.
You have to feel it happening. The blackouts, the violence. It's only going to get worse. Much, much worse. You have no choice but to stay behind. There is no other way for you.
Actually, the video game is letting me make a choice right now. We're going to kill him. We feast on Father Ted, our first or maybe second human kill if you believe that we ate Anna earlier, and that is everyone dead. Credits roll, and our character gets used to their new life as a semi-immortal Wendigo up on Blackwood Mountain. Well, until it gets renamed to Mount Washington in the 90s, and the Washington children start hosting annual winter getaways in the 2010s. And in 2014, Hannah Washington's friends play a trick on her, resulting in her and her sister Beth running around outside at night in the Wendigo-haunted woods that we still occupy.
Hannah? Beth?
There you have it. Unnamed journalist turned Wendigo is canonically the creature who chases Beth and Hannah that night in the Until Dawn prologue, not directly killing them, but leading to their entrapment and to Hannah eventually eating Beth. For a game that claims choices matter, we didn't have major differences between helping everyone live or causing everyone to die. Other Supermassive games will change up the scenes you play through, but the Inpatient still walks through all of the same scenes, whether we're an innocent hungry man or the kind of woman Hall & Oates warned us about. The only truly different content was the final ending scene. There's a few minor branches that we didn't see, though. There's another ending to the human path where the police let us go home if we promise to stay silent, and there's another Wendigo ending where we play nice and operate the cable car for the survivors if anyone is left alive. And if David likes us more than Suzanne, we can get David killed by failing that QuickTime event on the approach to the chapel. Having to run through a game all over again that's 85% similar, even if you take the farthest possible path from what you did the first time, is, I'll be real, it's boring. The Inpatient is definitely a game that's best experienced only one time. I like to go for platinum trophies in games I enjoy, and I'm so close to having this one, but I just don't feel like sitting through another full run to get another ending that I need for it. But the fundamentals of the Inpatient are solid. Its strengths lie more in the medium and in the writing. This is one of the best looking games on the PSVR from a graphical fidelity standpoint. These might be the best human character and face models the platform received, with an impressive breadth of animations. Supermassive Games did an amazing job with the technology, and I think the format of the game works really well in VR too. Using player head tracking for QuickTime events is really tense, and microphone input for spoken responses is immersive. I only wish we had so much more of it. The whole game runs about 2 hours, maybe 1 on subsequent playthroughs. Even comparing to Until Dawn itself or any of its spin-offs, the Inpatient feels like 2 chapters out of a 5-chapter game. The movement and controls feel okay, considering the limitations of the PS Move wands. The only real issue was Father Ted running into us because he's programmed to specifically lasso near the player during the free roam segments, and they stuck him on top of us in the elevator. That got annoying. The sound design was excellent. It did make filming and editing tough, but the Inpatient made excellent use of 3-dimensional audio, scaling voice volume based on distance, and using either or both ears depending on how you were rotated. It's a very good proof of concept for cinematic horror in VR, and it's neat that they tied it to Until Dawn with the outcome of the Wendigo playthrough. I would happily play more if we ever get another game like it. Thank you for watching the video. I'm glad you were patient enough to make it through. Thanks very much to my patrons for supporting the channel. I appreciate you all very, very much. I'm over there at j_Mothy if you'd like to add your support. We've also got a friendly Discord, and I'm live once a week if you just want to say hi between uploads. I know I just missed Halloween because fall was crazy in a bad way over here, but look for more less-known horror game coverage coming soon. Until dawn, until then, catch you later, chat.